everybody, and welcome back to the Falcon's Nest, where we discuss how Tony Stark didn't pay the Avengers.
We don't fully know that. He could have been paying them before, and then Sam betrayed him, and then he stopped paying him. That could have been the case. Would you keep paying somebody who turned on you?
It's not like he ever gave record of him having been paid before Civil War.
Yeah, so we're on to episode 2 now, and yes, I acknowledge there is the whole issue with Tony apparently not having paid the Avengers. At least we have no solid proof that he did, at least in the MCU version. I know in the comics he actually did, make sure that everybody got, a weekly, payment. But from what happened last week, it seems that's no longer the case, and that kind of sucks, but then again, I can sort of understand given what happened between him and Cap. And again, we don't know for certain if he wasn't paying them before. We just know he wasn't paying them before the blip. So yes, we are on to episode 2 now, the Star-Spangled Man. And so last time we saw Sam and Bucky, they're trying to basically live their lives after returning 6 months after the blip. Basically things aren't going well for them. Bucky's trying to reintegrate himself into society after, being a murder assassin for the last 70 years. And Sam is trying to help his family business, but nobody will give him business because that's the way our racist society is, unfortunately. Well, not even for a hero, not even for a veteran, God, I hate banks so much.
Not only that, they'll ask for selfies after giving the bad news.
It's like, oh yeah, sorry, we're gonna deny you a loan that'll definitely put your lifelong family legacy out of business, but hey, you mind getting a selfie? Jesus Christ. But the big cliffhanger at the end was that we now apparently have a new Captain America. And if I may quote the collective voices from everyone on the internet, what's wrong with your face? Yeah, I didn't really, want to point that out at the end because I thought that was kind of mean. I think it's probably just, with the mask and everything just makes it...
Probably squished his...
Yeah, probably squished his face in or something.
The, the thing that he has at the bottom to, I guess, clip it.
Yeah.
So it's probably, digging into his face.
I'm sure he doesn't look that bad without the mask on, but we'll see. I just wanted to bring that up because everybody's been making memes and, posts about that, and I'm just like, dude, leave the guy alone. I know he's probably going to turn out to be a villain, but you don't have to, shit on him the moment he shows up on screen just because his face doesn't look right under the mask. I'm guessing that something's going to happen in this to finally bring Sam and Bucky together. Because we know something's going to be going down. Whether it's with the new Captain America, whether it's with that new terrorist group. What was it, the Smashing Flags or something?
The Flag Smashers.
Flag Smashers, yeah. I want to say Smashing Pumpkins for almost for a moment.
No, I remember last week, I couldn't remember what they were called either. So
I still can't. It is a stupid
really
name.
Bad name.
I reiterate, it is a stupid name. And yeah, haters, come at me. I don't care. It's come on. It's a stupid name.
Yeah, apparently it was based on an old, on a villain called the Flag Smasher or something like that. Mm-hmm. I know very little, but...
So yeah, I believe today is finally going to be the episode where they team up, and we're probably going to launch right into the real, plot, the real, meat of the story. I'm looking forward to see how this is going to go down. So, without further ado, let's play. Oh my.
Take it off!
Do we put on the right, Marvel show? That's right, slow now. Oh yeah.
Well, I didn't put on Pornhub, so I don't know.
We put on the other Falcon Winter Soldier, the Slash edition. He looks like he just jizzed.
They're gonna love you.
I think the fandom might think otherwise.
Good luck.
John, Captain America.
And that's why you feel John class. Star-Spangled Man with a plan and all that.
Roll credits.
In the job description.
Sure hope they explain why he was chosen. I mean, at least he has an army background. That's good. This pep rally we're going to.
There it is.
So this is one of those USO shows or something, or is it a football game, or?
What is it like being Captain America? Do eagles fly overhead wherever you go?
He had that superpower?
Yeah, that, and even though I never met him, feels like a brother.
You can see he's like dying inside. And
Sure not giving up the shield.
Good to see you too, Buck.
You just showed right the fuck up out of nowhere.
Hey, Buck. This isn't what Steve wanted.
Oh my God! So what do you want me to do? Call America and tell them I changed my mind? Huh? Yeah, right. Well, he's been connected to this online group called the Flag Smashers. Now, Red Wing traced them.
Even he knows it's a stupid name.
Outside of Munich. So that's where I'm going.
What big three?
The big three.
What big three?
Androids, aliens, and wizards.
It's not
That's definitely it.
No, it's not.
Every time we fight one of the three.
So who are you fighting now, Gandalf? I read The Hobbit. 1937, when it first came out. So you see my point? No, I don't.
Point to Bucky.
There are no wizards.
A sorcerer is a wizard without a hat.
Technically, yes.
That's crazy. The incredibly annoying guy in front of me with the staring problem. I'm coming with you. No, you're not.
You gotta love he traveled all the way there to yell at Sam, and now he's getting his ass dragged on another fucking like covert mission. Stare. 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 Are you gonna do this the whole flight? They communicate mostly.
I will follow you. Follow you everywhere you go.
No plan.
They communicate mostly in stares. Do, do, do,
Sure, you're
do.
right, Buck.
No, you can't call me that.
I have a plan.
Really? What is it?
Wee!
Great. Where's the chute? We're two amphibians. It's too hot for a chute. I don't need it anyway.
Superhero landing.
Superhero landing.
Sure about that?
Sounds like a challenge. I regret nothing!
Ow.
Ooh, ow, ow, ow. Oof.
Well, I guess the tree softened his fall.
I have all of that on camera.
Sam, you're an ass.
Get out of my face.
Okay, head north.
I mean, thank God he had that super soldier serum or he'd be dead.
Don't hurt him.
Leave Red Wing alone.
You're doing the staring thing again.
Stay in there. Hey, come on, man. I'm just messing with you. Go back.
There's a trap.
Little time in Wakanda, you come out
White Panther. That's who I was.
Oh my God. Now that's a story from Marvel What If.
Hello. How are you? Good. What did I miss? Nothing. All right, let's go. No, wait. I got a vibranium arm. I can take the thing. And I can fly. Who gives a shit? Wait.
Oh, here comes the four.
Yeah. Fine. Yeah. So they're strong. Whatever.
Really
All right,
strong.
let's go. No, wait.
Why are you not whispering? Yay, truck chase. Yes, jump right in front of the other truck or they can see you. Genius.
Stealing medicine. Vaccines.
Really?
You okay?
Oh boy.
Yep.
This is what happens when you go charging in. Suddenly I'm getting Mandalorian flashbacks.
I always wanted to do that.
Oh, poor Red Wing.
Enjoy the fight, Sam.
Oh, hey.
Would you follow them?
It's kind of like that train scene in Captain America: First Avenger.
To his credit, he knows how to wield that shield. Which, like I said, is impressive considering he doesn't have super strength. Ooh.
Again, this seems awfully like that train scene.
Second verse, same as the first.
Oh,
Ooh.
whew.
Boy, you gonna crash those trucks. Ooh.
Man.
Have a girl kick your ass.
I'm dying, but sure, bust my balls.
Yeah, they're made of steel. Come on.
Yeah. That's unfortunate. Oh my!
Get off of me!
Oh my god, there are gonna be so many AMVs after this of this scene alone. Loving you, it's easy cause you're beautiful. Ooh, nice.
I'm gonna get off the road.
Oof. Wonder if insurance covers damage by Captain America.
Sorry about wrestling. No, you're not.
The-
You know what? I can actually see it. I can see the gears turning. Oh, they're malfunctioning. Shutting down. Yep, they're on fire.
You gotta figure out where the serum's coming from.
Yeah, and how in the hell, after 80 years, are the 8 super soldiers running loose?
Good question.
So that didn't go as planned, huh?
D-
Let's keep going. Okay, so we got 8 super soldiers on a bulk supply.
Fine.
You hacked my tech? Sorry, it's not exactly hacking. It's government property. Kind of government.
We're gonna do this, aren't we?
She always just stare like that? You get used to it.
Man, I got mad respect for both of y'all, but you're kind of getting your ass kicked till we showed up.
Who are you?
From my hospital. I'm Battlestar, Star-Spangled.
Battlestar? Stop the car!
Was that offensive to you somehow?
I'm not trying to be Steve. I'm not trying to replace Steve.
Even though that's basically what
Just
you're
trying
doing.
to be the best Captain America I can be. It'd be a whole lot easier if I had Cap's wingman on my side.
It's always that last line.
I mean, he's given us no reason to dislike him or hate him so far. I mean, yeah, I know this is basically a paid role that he's doing, but he did, in all fairness, help them. Also, is it just me? Does he sound like Bruce Campbell almost?
A little bit.
He even has like the chin, like him.
Flag smashers, come out and play, yay!
With all the bloody handprints around, you'd almost think this was PETA.
Very hungry. It's an old family recipe made with the finest chicken livers. Please serve yourselves anything you want. Anything. You ask
chicken
me,
liver.
There is some coffee here.
10 hours of staring later.
Do you remember what happened the last time we stole it?
Maybe.
I'll help you in case you forgot. Sharon was branded enemy of the state, and Steve and I were on the run for 2 years. I don't know about you. I don't want to live the rest of my life in La Vida Loca.
No. My daddy told me it's Black Falcon.
Is it because I'm black and I'm the Falcon?
Well, technically, I mean,
So are you like
We're gonna do this?
a black kid? I got it, right?
I always thought it was just the Falcon.
Yeah. If anything, I would have thought Red Falcon, given his, costume color.
You ain't getting in this house.
Oh
You
boy.
have to leave now.
Do it the hard way, huh?
I'm the guy from the bar in Goyang's here. Sam, this is Isaiah. He was a hero. One of the ones that Hydra feared the most, like Steve. We met in 51.
If I met you, I whooped your ass. Yeah. We heard whispers he was on the peninsula. You think you can wake up one day and decide who you want to be? It doesn't work like that. Well, maybe it does for folks like you. You and me.
And we need to know how.
I'm not going to talk about it anymore.
He's a super soldier, too.
You know what they did to me for being a hero? They put my ass in jail for 30 years. People running tests, taking my blood, coming into my cell. Even your people weren't done with me.
I see you.
Get out of my house!
Sam.
Why didn't you tell me about Isaiah? How could nobody bring him up? I asked you a question, Bucky.
No,
Steve didn't know about him?
he didn't. I didn't tell him.
So you're telling me that there was a black super soldier decades ago and nobody knew about it?
Wow, that sounds familiar. Of fucking course.
Here, bro. No, we're just talking, fine.
That's in your ID?
Son of a
I don't
bitch.
have ID. Why?
Your search is going down.
I am calm.
Don't
What do you
shoot
want?
him,
We're just
please.
standing here
Just
talking.
give him your ID.
No, I'm not giving him shit. We just talking.
Hey, look, is this guy bothering
No,
you?
he's not bothering me. Do you know who this is?
Oh, God. I'm so sorry, Mr. Wilson. I didn't recognize you without the cops. I'm
Ay.
really, really sorry about this. Guys,
More cops show up, of course.
wait here, okay? So just, Mr. Barnes?
Some real heavy-handed commentary
warrant
here.
out for your arrest.
The president pardoned him for all that.
Not for that. You missed your court-mandated therapy. It's like
Ah.
PL. I'm sorry, Mr. Barnes, you're under arrest.
Goes through all that, gets arrested for missing therapy. Wow, his therapist must have really hated him. Although I read online, you know, if he got a pardon, there are no things he has to do afterwards. It's not like he was on parole.
So nice to meet you. Thank you for getting him out.
That was not me.
Stina!
I didn't think so.
Great to see you again.
Oh.
You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, we did some field ops back in the day. We haven't finished our work. Who authorizes?
Backed him into a corner, huh?
It's too valuable an asset to have tied up. Got some unfinished business. And you too, Wilson.
Ugh.
Be outside.
Great, now they owe him.
James, condition of your release session now. You too, Sam.
No, it's okay. I'll be out here with my...
That wasn't a request.
Huh.
I mean, she is a soldier. She might outrank him. Besides, they need couples counseling badly.
I get it, why you want me to talk to Freaky Magoo over here.
It is my job to make sure that you're okay.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I agree.
See? Making progress already. We're going to do an exercise. It's something I use with couples when they are trying to...
I was right.
Are you familiar with the miracle question?
Absolutely not.
Okay. It goes like this. When you wake up, what is something you would like to see that would make your life better?
In my miracle, he would talk less.
Exactly what I was going to say.
You guys are leaving me with no choice. It's time for the soul-gazing exercise.
I like this one.
I mean,
Turn
glad this
around,
is
turn
right
around,
up your
face
alley.
each other.
You
Face
should
each
really
other.
enjoy this. I know you will.
Sam, face each other.
Now gaze deeply into each other's eyes.
Close.
Good exercise. Thanks.
Right, get close.
Well, which way?
Why do you have to have your
right?
You know what?
All right.
Scissors.
It's a little close.
It's very close. That's right.
Guys. Good. Now look at each other. You need to look at each other in the eyes. There, you see, that wasn't so hard. Are you having staring contests?
Of course.
Just blink. Sweet Jesus. All right. James.
He gave you that shield for a reason. That shield, that is everything he stood for. That is his legacy. He gave you that shield and you threw it away like it was nothing. So maybe he was wrong about you. And if he was wrong about you, then he was wrong about me.
We're going to deal with that. And when we're done, we both can go on separate long vacations and never see each other again.
I like that.
Great. Well, let's get
That's code for we're going on a cruise after all this is over.
I feel much better. Well, I feel better.
I feel awful.
The cops again? Jesus.
Wow. Now you're being the...
Good to see you again.
You're giving me more and more reason to dislike you, dude.
ourselves, we don't stand a chance. We're free agents. We're more flexible. So it wouldn't make sense for us to work with you.
Well, word of advice then,
Oh boy.
stay the hell out of my way.
Oh, we're gonna do this, huh? I was gonna say, can a guy with super soldier serum stand up to a barrage of bullets?
I guess only so much.
Yeah, we technically never saw Cap get shot. Like, we got shot at, but he was deflected with a
Yeah.
shield.
He knows all of Hydra's secrets. Don't you remember Siberia?
So you're just going to go sit in a room with this guy?
Yes.
Good plan. I see nothing going wrong with this. So I guess he has been stuck in solitaire this whole time. Well, that was an intense episode. You know what the ironic thing about this Captain America is? This is exactly what Cap fought against with the whole Sokovia Accords.
The government should not own and be able to regulate Captain America or, any superheroes. Also, I'm guessing this is going to be the test for Bucky, too, if the words still work.
I mean, I don't think they should. I believe when they brought him to Wakanda, they deprogrammed him of that, but then again, who knows, maybe Zemo found, something else, like a backup trigger or something. Well, that was an interesting first get-together episode. Something tells me that the creators of the show really ship Sam and Bucky. Or they at least like to tease them. Because, first they're having staring contest, and then they're rolling around in the dirt together, and then they go to couples counseling, and then they stare deeply into each other's eyes and bare their souls. It's like a more angsty, fanfic. That being said, they do have good chemistry, though.
Yes.
I mean, I thought that before when, I guess it was Civil War, you finally saw, their dynamics start to, come into play. I just love Sam just bust his chops whenever he gets the chance. Then again, Bucky kind of does, too, sometimes when the opportunity presents itself.
They're equal opportunity ball busters.
Where Bucky communicates entirely in stares. What should we address first about this? Because so much went on. Well, we know for a fact now that it's definitely super soldier serum that they stole and are using. I figured as much, since Hydra had manufactured their own and probably were giving it out to whatever, test subjects. Because I do remember when they showed Bucky's whole thing during Civil War that they gave it to a whole bunch of people. Not all of them, I guess, took to it, but some did.
And plus we had the, the Incredible Hulk movie with the incorrect superhero serum.
It was I think a version of it, but it was radiated or mutated or something, hence why Bruce was affected the way he was. And the new Captain America, I know they start off trying to show him that he is just an everyday guy who, really worked to get where he was. They showed that, he has a significant other, he has a friend, that he is trying to do the best he can in this role, and he's, to be fair, he's stepping into a very big legacy, so he's handling pretty well for what he's doing at the moment.
But at the same time, it's he can't take no for an answer anytime Bucky and Sam tell him no.
I think because even though he says he's not trying to be Steve, he's still trying to insert himself back into that dynamic, and it's not going to work. And
he has to earn that.
And not to mention, as we said, he's government-owned Captain America, which makes him less trustworthy. Because as they said, he has limitations put on him now. Because with Cap, even though he did, promote himself for the army and the government and, basically was, the unofficial symbol or whatever, he still did his own thing.
Yeah.
Because, he was not afraid to run headfirst, disregard orders and do what needed to be done. And I feel like this guy might go along that line, but not in the right way. Because, I feel like he will do that, but it's more to deter them than it is to get the mission done. I won't say he's, a bad guy per se in this. Not yet, as far as I can see, but he's definitely going to be a hindrance.
Yes.
I keep thinking of a random example. I keep thinking of Power Rangers Time Force. It's with the Quantum Ranger, in that, he was technically government-owned Power Ranger, so he did everything by their rules as opposed to, how the Rangers operated on their own terms. And at one point, he even tried to, take control of the Rangers as his unofficial force, but that just didn't work. And granted, they were both working for the same goal, but they had such conflicting personalities, not to mention a bad history, that they more often than not, hindered each other than helped. So I feel like this is the same direction it's going to go in. Then there's that girl leader of...
the Flag Smashers.
Yeah.
Carly, I think her name was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know she's a new take on an already established villain. She's apparently an established character. I can't really get a feel on her, though. They don't really do anything with her.
But she might also have her own agenda going on.
Right. Well, we know somebody's out for her.
Yeah.
Somebody definitely has it in for her specifically.
But on the other hand, it's one of those, Sean, that, it might be a sympathy angle.
It's possible.
Yeah.
'Cause I know they seem to be trying to portray them in a sympathetic way, in that they must have all come from, like, you know, harsh backgrounds, considering, you know, when that guy took them into their home, like, just, even though it was a cramped space with, like, food and Tupperware and stuff, it was still to them, like, you know, a godsend or something.
Well, there's also the fact that they've probably been on the run. They haven't had, like, a legitimate, you know, place to hang their hats or, you know, rest. And this might have been, like, the first where, you know, someone really rolled out the red carpet for them.
And surprisingly, like, at least for that one guy, he was, like, actually self-sacrificing, too. Like, that he just, like, just to give them time, went in front of all, like, those military guys and just took a hail of bullets, like, no questions. So, we know that they're not completely bad guys in that sense. Like, something tells me that they're gonna end up not being as villainous as we perceive them. It's probably, like, the Skrull, I'm guessing. It turns out the enemy all along was the government. Big shock. Dear God, did they hammer that in big time, especially with the law enforcement. Of course, that scene with the cops pulling over for Sam, like, dear God. Ugh. It's like, you could be a friggin' top tier level Avenger and the cops will still pull you over if you're black. That, like, what the fuck, man? It's funny though, Bucky's the one that ended up getting arrested.
Yeah.
Her missed therapy session.
All I know is I'm just glad at least one of the cops knew that they recognized Sam, because otherwise...
Thank God, that would have ended so badly.
That would have been awful.
Speaking of awful, Isaiah. Like, wow. On the one hand, I understand Bucky's mentality of keeping him a secret, because, like him, he's probably been put through the ringer all these years, and he's probably has even more scars to show from it, because as we saw, he's actually old. The poor guy, like, you could definitely see the PTSD in his face. You could tell.
I wouldn't blame him. I mean, all the stuff he had to go through, it's basically what Bucky probably had to go through too, but probably even worse. Like, I hate to say it, you know, because he's black, they probably treated him even worse.
I don't totally believe that. And it kind of brings to light another trend I've been noticing lately, because that is one good thing I will say about Facebook and Twitter and online media, is that they've been bringing to light a lot of, like, forgotten heroes of color over the centuries, because, like, with the new attacks that have happening on, you know, on Asian people, I've been seeing a lot of promotion of, you know, Asian soldiers from World War II that, you know, have actually done phenomenal things. The same thing with black soldiers and other soldiers of color. Like, they've done all these extraordinary things during wartime for the United States, but they've been forgotten because of who they are. And it sucks. And this is the same thing here. Like, even if this guy was technically, like, a Hydra agent, whatever, unlike the Winter Soldier, who has, like, this big, like, notorious reputation or whatever throughout the decades, Isaiah's been totally forgotten. And whether that was purposely for his own sanity or whatever, that's still a sucky thing.
And what's even worse is he's supposed to be the good guy. So he's getting this, you know, kind of treatment, while Bucky was definitely the enemy.
Yeah, like, Bucky, like, just has done 70 years worth of crimes. Granted, it wasn't his fault, but still, he has a huge red ledger about him. And heck, even Black Widow has her ledger as well. But they didn't, like, spend time in jail. He was, like, in jail for 30 years. They didn't see any jail time. Like, granted, they had to, like, you know, go in isolation or whatever, or stay hidden, but they never had to pay, like, an actual price like that. And it sucks. It's really not fair, and I'm not trying to, like, minimize, you know, their suffering or anything, because I know they definitely have, you know, tried to make up for their sins and everything, and I'm not saying they should have been more punished, but it's just, it feels uneven.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it was bad enough for the last episode with them denying Sam the bank loan. I mean, on the one hand, you can say that, oh, that's just how it is in this post-blip era with all these people coming back who have not, you know, whose bank accounts have probably been closed for like 5 years and who are suddenly trying to get money.
But it's business as usual.
Yeah, but this makes it apparent, no, this is still an issue. This is still a problem. But for those who are going to say, like, oh, they're politicizing Avengers and da-da-da, it's like, Stan Lee had, like, from the start, made all of his characters about, about racial injustice and discrimination and all that. All of them came from some background of that caliber. I mean, heck, even Steve, to a degree, he was discriminated against because of his health conditions. Because of his small stature and the fact that he was an orphan and all that. Like, it's still not, I know it's not as bad as others, but still, that's the big difference with between DC heroes and Marvel heroes. Marvel heroes actually get discriminated on things that are real, that happen in the real world. That's what makes them relatable. While it was, like, really heavy-handed in this, I am glad that they address it. Yeah, they address it. They don't try to hide it. They don't
shy away from it. They they shove your face right in it.
Yeah, because let's face it, like, if Sam had busted out the wings and his gear, like, even if the cops knew who he was, they would not hesitate in taking him down. I hate to say it, but we all know that's the reality, especially nowadays. Yep. So now, the question is, what's going to happen after this? We know they're going to be chasing down the Flag Smashers, and they're going to do it without the assist of the new Captain America or the government, who are most likely going to get in their way, or get in each other's way. We know that Sam and Bucky definitely... What would you call that? A working hate relationship or something? At the moment, they're definitely not friends, but they're willing to compromise for the sake of the mission.
They have a truce.
Yeah. I'm wondering, what's going to happen, because while I understand the dynamic, that's not going to last for long. And we do have to address the fact of, Sam eventually taking on the mantle, because that has to happen. I feel like that has to happen. I'm just surprised Sam didn't really explain himself more with why he gave up the shield. Because, like, I understood Bucky's point of view, that he got that message across quite clearly, surprisingly. I understand that. With Sam, like, I figured his whole thing was he felt he couldn't live up to the legacy. But all he said was, oh, I thought it was the right thing. I just felt like he could have presented a better argument to him, and maybe he'll elaborate more during their journey there. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what else to say. It was like so much just went on in this episode, because, like, at least the first one, it was just, this is what he's doing, this is what he's doing, it all leads up to this. But this, it's like, we go to point A to point B, and this happens and that happens, we meet this person, it jumped around a lot. Like, I look at the clock and I'm like, shit, are we watching an actual movie, or is this like the same 50-minute episode? Because it definitely felt like, I don't want to say it felt long, like, because it definitely had a quick pace, but it definitely felt a lot longer than it actually was in, like, a movie sense, just because of the amount of stuff that happened.
I probably should have said this last time, but there's that meme going around of, like, it shows the, at the end of Endgame with Bucky, Sam, and Wanda standing there, and they're like, we need therapy, but they gave us a TV show instead group. And it's like, in this case, there actually is therapy.
They actually did get therapy. I just love we have all of this stuff going on. All of this stuff with terrorists and with domestic disputes and everything else going on. But we stop for a good, 10-15 minutes just to put them in therapy for at least once. Just to, show the audience, see, we tried. I just love they both hated it, yet Bucky seemed really more into it than Sam did.
But then again, I think that's kind of a normal thing, even if, you don't have trauma, or, even if you don't have their kind of trauma,
right.
It's still, there's so much, the stigma of a lot of people, think therapy's for the weak, but you really should. There's nothing to be ashamed of.
I mean, I can maybe see why Sam would be opposed to it. I mean, he's a soldier whose whole reputation is about being tough and everything, and he's had to be really tough, because of his upbringing and background. So this is probably, one of those things that, he probably sees as, taking him down a notch. I think the reason he's so unnerved by Bucky staring at him all the time is just because he doesn't like to be analyzed. Even with his sister, he was giving her, the stink eye or something. She's like, why are you giving me that? You're like, I'm the one who reads you better. Because that's probably why he quips a lot, too, just to kind of hide that.
Oh, and the, androids, aliens, or wizards.
Wizards are sorcerers, but with hats. I mean, I know a bunch of D&D nerds out there who would explain to you the difference, but for the sake of comedy, I do agree.
I mean, let's face it, though, it's not like that was what they were always facing. They were usually, a lot of time, they'd be facing some businessman who was out of control and just had, you know, a lot of resources.
I mean, yeah, it's been a lot more modernized in that it was more of a realistic villain, like a regular human that just happened to have access to resources or, like, were in league with another superpowered being, but
let's face it, it's like, for who they are, the public would need them for.
That's why we need superheroes, for superpowered beings.
Yep.
So we'll have to wait another week for their next therapy session. I mean mission. Of course, right now we don't know what the new episode is. I assume this is going to be another Mandalorian thing where they wait till, you know, the day of to release the title, which is fine. You know, they don't want to spoil anything. So until next time, everyone, I'm Kat MacBerrie.
I'm Doug MacBerrie.
And all glory to the Hypno Bucky.
Loving you is easy 'cause you're beautiful, and making love with you is all